Hey, welcome back to AP Macroeconomics with your favorite teacher, me, Mr. Fritz. Today we're going to learn about crowding out. Alright, so we've all heard about crowding out, but today we're going to talk about what it really is. Crowding out is going to be something that tends to happen during a recession, so up here I've drawn a recession and a loanable funds market for us to use. Crowding out is going to occur anytime the government goes into a budget deficit. Remember, the government's budget is made up of two things mainly: taxes and government spending. Generally, when the government is in a budget deficit, taxes are going to be low and government spending is going to be high. And so the government's going to be spending money that it doesn't actually have. Generally, this is going to happen in a recession because in that point you're going to need to do deficit spending so that you can get out of the recession. Remember, we go into a recession, the problem is that unemployment is too high and we need aggregate demand to increase. In order to do that, the government can either lower taxes, increase government spending, or some sort of combination of the two. That will get aggregate demand to increase and we can start getting back out of that recession. That would look something like this. Aggregate demand increases just to the right because of a decrease in government taxes or an increase in government spending, and we get that unemployment rate back down and back to the natural rate of unemployment. The only problem we're going to run into here is that when the government is deficit spending, they're literally spending money that they're not taxing for, so they don't have it. And in order to get it, they're going to have to borrow. So we're going to come down here to the loanable funds market. The government is going to be in a budget deficit, meaning that they're going to have to borrow money in the form of government bonds. And when they do that, they're going to go into the loanable funds market and demand more money. So they're going to be increasing the demand of the loanable funds market, aka they're going to be borrowing more money. So the demand curve shifts to the right, and we end up with a higher real interest rate. The real interest rate increases. So who's going to be upset about this increase in the real interest rate? Particularly businesses are. Now that it costs more to borrow money, businesses are going to slow down on their interest-sensitive investment spending on capital goods. That could cause aggregate demand to decrease back to the left a little bit, because remember, investment spending is part of our aggregate demand curve. The reason that this can be detrimental to an economy is because if businesses aren't buying capital goods this year, next year they might not be able to make as much stuff as they did this year, or maybe even less. This could slow down our growth rate or even get our growth rate to decrease. That's bad for the economy because it means less jobs and less stuff. So that's been crowding out. I'll see you next time when we talk about more macroeconomics. Goodbye.